nice to meet you both. What an incredible, powerful story, like nothing we've ever seen before. And I just was blown away by this film. I just talked to Mr. Del Toro, and I told him the same thing. He's like, really? I'm like, dude, home run. So kudos.
Thanks.
I'm curious, what is it about this story that you both like the most?
I liked, from being selfish, the fact that it was a three-dimensional character. Doesn't always happen in when you play supporting parts. You sometimes are there to serve the story, and this guy had a life of his own, and he had a big arc. He changed, so that was the first thing. He just, and then I went back and watched PANS Labyrinth again, and I thought, I want to be in something like this. This would be great.
Exactly. Yeah. Same question for you.
Yeah, no, quintessential Guillermo del Toro film in that he loves to show an underdog rising to the top, an underdog triumphing in some way. This is my 6th film with him, so I've enjoyed that ride very much, helping tell stories where the voiceless can find their voice. And in this case, it's literal, where, and also that love is possible, no matter how much of a freak of nature we feel we are. There's beauty in that. There's beauty in being a freak, and something other than mainstream, other than normal. There can be beauty and there can be love. That's what I love about this movie.
You have to be one of the most patient actors out there. I mean, I looked through all your characters, and he must sit in a makeup chair a long time. Tell me about the process to become this character in this film. How long did it take? What was the costume like?
We're looking at a 3-hour process, which is very short and merciful for this kind of a character from head to toe. But from the neck down was a suit. I slipped into it, zipped it up the back, but it was very, very tight and snug. It took 4 people to help me do that. Hands were glued on, then a face and neck were glued on as a makeup with gills that were mechanical and eyes that were enhanced with CG movement later in post-production. So quite a it takes a village to make a fish man. Yeah.
Your character,
I just the hairpiece was glued.
No, that wasn't my question, silly. By the way, before I forget, 6 Feet Under, and this is the first time you and I have spoken, one of my favorite series of all time. That just, I saw you on screen last night. I said, I think I'm going to go rewatch it.
Yeah.
Just seeing you. Fantastic series, so thank you for that.
Thanks.
Your character speaks, your co-stars don't.
No.
What were the challenges to that?
Challenge. I'm an actor. I get to talk more.
Okay.
Challenge.
That's true.
Thank God I say my line and hers.
We just had to listen to you yammer on. I know.
It never occurred to me. I mean, she's so great. Mm-hmm. She is so. I found myself looking at her face maybe more than I would, because usually when you talk to somebody, Sally, if you want an answer, you have to look at her. Mm. And I found myself getting lost in that face, that beautiful face. But it was just great. I mean, we became friends in rehearsal. And that helps. That really helps.
Because the reason I asked that, I didn't know, like, if in dealing with your character as well, if the other actor has to really take on a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Those two did nothing.
I didn't mean like
that. No, but it's true. He didn't. Sally but nothing.
No, but of course, no. Silly. All right, we're moving on. You know what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
No, because it's actually harder for you because you're not.
Please,
talking.
no, wait a minute. It's not harder.
You wear a fish suit and tell me how easy it is.
Fish suits for everybody. It's Oprah. You get a fish suit. You get a fish suit
for everybody.
All right, I want to talk about working with Guillermo del Toro. You've worked with him in the past. Mm-hmm. His directing style. Just how does he? What are his tips? What are his pointers? Where did he tell you to go for these roles?
Right. Well, yeah, for me, it was a pretty. He gives you a couple of notes ahead of time, and he directs every actor differently too, because we all have different personalities, obviously. But
I love this guy.
I know, me too. But he finds what buttons work with each actor, and so with me, it's a shorthand by now. He'll give me a couple things. For this, for instance, he told me to channel a little bit of the Silver Surfer, which I'd played in a previous movie, and throw some Matador in there. So I knew exactly what he was talking about with those 2 notes: strong, heroic strength, posture that was kind of sexy, leading with the hips, and some grace.
It's interesting because I saw him. You guys collaborate. He directing you when a scene that's not in the movie that we took out, where we go to the loading dock and it's raining.
Yeah.
And you stand up. There was this moment where he, at the end of the movie, where he's not doing well. His scales are coming off.
Right.
Yeah, and Doug did that. That wasn't.
He actually shed my own scales.
He shed his own scales. It was amazing.
Talent.
So we had this thing where we put him in the rain. and he got stronger. His life came back to him. It was really cool. I mean, it was really cool. He went from this sickly thing to this god, and it was so cool. And of course, they didn't use it because I was behind them doing this. I don't know why we didn't use it.
Thank you for sharing that story with me. I really appreciate it. You guys. Pick out as we say in Texas, pick out a fancy outfit.
Okay.
You're going to need it for some award shows.
Thanks.
Amazing performance.
Thank you so much.
Kudos, seriously.
Seriously.